guess I'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you today. So, what do you know about field service? In a way, it's the ubiquitous industry that very few people know about. And actually, this is technology that came out of the UK. When we started, we had one of the very first artificial intelligence algorithm-driven optimization engines that can schedule very complex workforces and everything that goes into fulfilling the job in a workforce. So for example, if you have a telecom or a utility or a manufacturer or any sort of field-based event, whether it's installation, repair, preventative maintenance, consumer or enterprise, this is one of our clients. And what we do that's unique is you'll see many more simplistic SMB, that you look at scheduling into a vacant spot. So for example, do you have time to come around tomorrow? A small company might say yes. But as you grow in scale, that's not good enough because you start optimizing SLAs, you start optimizing parts availability, technician skills, productivity goals, number of jobs per day, least cost travel routings, all of these things, even looking at M2M sensor in a connected world. And when you get to that level as an enterprise, ServicePower is your choice. So what we do here is what I started to talk about, the very sophisticated optimization engine, which we call scheduling. This is a product that we've developed actually over 20 years. And that's part of why we have very strong barriers to entry with other competitors. Because even if you go and build a sales force or you start an SMB product, our competitors don't have the 20-year experience working across verticals and really refining the technology. What we do is very sophisticated, and it's also something that is very robust to roll out globally. When I first joined ServicePower approximately 2 years ago, we were largely a purely Anglo-American company. Now we've signed a number of global deals, we're building out the language, we're growing global. So while we still have quite a bit of upside and opportunity as we build out our EMEA, Latin America, and progress on our strategy, as well as we transition scheduling from more of a licensed maintenance model to a SaaS model, we've made a large amount of progress, especially in the last year. And part of that progress is what we've done on the side of mobilized field techs. In January 2013, we acquired for the first time Mobility Source Code. We made that into a product. We launched it with our first enterprise clients in 2013. And in 2014, we actually moved this technology onto the cloud. We integrated it across products, and we're actually building out further what we can do in terms of work order management, connecting it into other partner ecosystems. It's an exciting time for how we're building out mobilization in the field service industry. And let's not forget our third-party management. We actually process 70 to 80% of all consumer electronics or appliance warranty claims in America. That's huge. You might have also seen the announcement this morning that we have a very strong position in the UK in this sector as well. And one of the unique things that we do in field service is not only do we, with the scheduling product, optimize employed workforces, but we also can dispatch and manage work to contractor networks. This is huge. Also, when you think about what's happening with the M2M and the connected world, many of the people that are investing now in M2M strategies are not going to go build out an employed field service or an employed workforce. They're going to need software like ours to leverage the contractor network. So for example, you may know a contractor that comes in to service your dishwasher or your refrigerator or your smart boiler. But in 3 to 5 years, that contractor might service the entirety of the connected home. And that's the opportunity for ServicePower as we continue to grow. So what's unique about us? We are the only platform which does very sophisticated and real-time optimization. What does that mean? This relates back to what I talked about at the beginning. If you're just trying to fill up a schedule, right? Say I have Outlook, I want to fill up my personal schedule. Okay, that's not so hard. But what if I have 1,000 technicians that I want to take my technicians from doing 2.5 jobs a day to 3 jobs a day, okay? And I want to change their first-time fix rate from maybe fixing things 70% of the time to 80% of the time. And you know what? I also want to think about how I'm better using my parts inventory and my triage and maybe taking some sensor feeds and actually looking at how I optimize preventative maintenance, which is cheaper than doing expensive break fix. Now you get into the sophisticated and complex aspects, and that's why you need ServicePower, because very, very few competitors, and really there aren't any true competitors that can handle the sophistication of what we can do in terms of real-time optimization, but with wholly configurable software. Leading capabilities in M2M connected service. So part of the issue with M2M is you connect this world. Okay, well, how do you make money from it? What do you do with it? Okay. The unique thing about ServicePower is we can work with any M2M partner, and we have Bosch Solutions as one of our leading partners in this space. And what we want is we want the problem alert, the out-of-parameter alert that says something's getting too hot, or maybe there's excessive vibration, or what have you. We can take that alert and smartly, intelligently schedule it so that we don't need a contact center or a consumer calling in anymore. So how exciting is that? Is if you had a business relationship with a company that knew either before your asset was going to break or could automatically come fix it without you having to wait on the line and call into a contact center. As we talked about, we have solutions for managing the mixed labor force, both employee and contractor base. The mobile platform is our platform for billing out a fully cloud multi-tenant product in the mobile workforce management space. We've invested a lot of money in developing new intellectual property over 2014 that will be investing in new sales relationships coming in 2015. Very innovative business logic. This relates to managing some of the complexities in field service, as well as a variety of other things. One of the points that's also unique in our company is we're developing options regarding what we call a management console, and not just looking at historical analytics, but predictive decisions, so that we can help advise businesses in how they should run their business better in terms of field service. Are they staffed in the right ways? Do they have the right parts inventory? Have they looked at how they integrate and get leverage more their CRM or their ERP investments? We actually can add value in all those ways. So just quickly, I'll go over this very high level. Ultimately, M2M and why we're positioned so well to take advantage of this commercial trend over the next 3 to 5 years is about moving from reactive to proactive. You know, for example, say you have an asset that you have to adjust the preventative maintenance schedule either because it's used more or used less. You want to get that information so that then you can proactively say, I need the technician to come do earlier preventative maintenance or later preventative maintenance. And also, we have the opportunity with our software to further optimize it in terms of proximity, technician skill, etc., that if I'm here, say I came to this building to fix something. Well, if the building next door needs a preventative maintenance visit next week, and I have the skills to do that visit, the software knows that, and it can say, look, Marne, why don't you go do that preventative maintenance visit today? And guess what? That just freed up next week's appointment to either meet a very urgent SLA or some other productivity-enhancing event. That's what's unique about ServicePower. So this is only a small subsection of our clients, but we handle the biggest names in enterprise software. And what we're doing is looking to leverage that into more additional verticals. So going further into telecom, thinking of utility clients that are using mixed labor or going into new businesses, looking at other manufacturers or process industries, and also leveraging what we do in Anglo-America territories further into continental Europe. And as we continue expanding the language suite, looking into more Latin America, Middle East, and Asia. That will all come in the future. So we are a very value-driven company, and this is what is also important to ServicePower. When you talk about enterprise software, a lot of it is, okay, this is what clients might see, etc. The value that we can offer clients is very bottom-line oriented. Our customers say, how can we increase jobs per day? Or how can we get value from a better customer experience? Or how can we drive our first-time fix rates? With the ROI models and how we can configure the software, we give our customers real returns on investments. In some sectors, you can see an ROI even on a capital purchase within a year. Obviously, not all sectors are like that, but the point is that our software drives real value, and that's part of our value selling. So go to market. One of the things within ServicePower is that we have had a division in the business, the service operations business, that's been SaaS for a very long time. But we are in the process of migrating more of our scheduling business from a license maintenance model to a SaaS model. So that does have some impact. It makes a big difference in a company our size if you win, say, $1 million license in a given year versus a $2 million SaaS contract, right? So in the short term, we as a company will be managing the SaaS migration in our service scheduling business segment. But the good news is that we're actually seeing increasing recurring revenue in that segment, and we're seeing a lot of demand for SaaS purchase in the segment. So there will be some short-term adjustments as we do SaaS migration within service scheduling, but the demand is there. We'll continue at the larger enterprises selling on a license basis, of course, as they desire. Total cost of ownership for the very large enterprises generally is still better on a license versus SaaS. But the point is that we want to facilitate the best value to a customer. This is what I talked about with the ROI. So we will sell in the methodology that fits with the customer's goals, whether they're looking for OpEx or CapEx, and how they want to get a return on investment. So very quickly, we're also implementing standard integration and REST APIs across the product line. This is something that ServicePower hadn't done in the past, that we were selling more products versus a platform. So this is requiring the development of new IP. It's also looking at how we integrate the platform overall. So it's an exciting time with ServicePower that is facilitating us being more scalable, being truly a global company as we roll out this. So this is all work that we started in 2014. It'll continue in 2015 and beyond. Ultimately, in Outlook, one of the biggest things I want to finish on in this slide, we made a monster move within Gartner. Many of you probably know the Gartner's Magic Quadrants for field service. In our industry, especially with enterprises, it is one of the major endorsements, if you will. So ServicePower had been off the Magic Quadrant, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and when it had come on, it came in as a niche player. Well, this year, for the 2014 Magic Quadrant that just came out for the field service segment, it was released December 22nd, we made a huge move into the leading visionary. So we're now on the right side of the quadrant, in the visionary quadrant, close to the leaders quadrant. We're working to get there. And that has been huge. So in terms of facilitating partner interaction, getting endorsement in enterprise sales cycles, this has been probably the most important strategic change within the last few months with the company. So this is facilitating us in 2015, going further into the new verticals, going further into the new territories, with the additional IP that we've developed, as well as the product line, the integrated platform, etc. So it's quite an exciting time. We've also done quite a bit of work restructuring our sales organization, taking people from competitors and looking at the industry, and doing a lot more competitive positioning also with our marketing, our sales, etc. We've moved a lot of the marketing to digital marketing, as well as trade shows, webinars, all these things that many of the people have talked about. But again, the Gartner positioning within the enterprise software market is huge for us, and we're already seeing positive results just in the last month from that. So I have about 1 minute left, so I don't know if there's any questions. Go for it.
Could you comment on the current revenue in the current year? You gave a figure of 12 million.
So one of the things that we're doing, and there's some research notes that can go into more detail, so I'll speak high level about it. One of the things I've talked about in past announcements, as well as briefings that we've done, is when I came into the business, there was some low margin recurring revenue, okay? And so there was some quite low margin recurring revenue within the 12 million. So this year in 2015, we're actually looking to swap out recurring revenue and improve, say, the health of the recurring revenue from a margin perspective. So when you look at 2015, we'll be looking to build more SaaS recurring revenue and of a healthy software margin, and we'll be looking to swap out what was lower either service or more prime contractor-related recurring revenue to proper software margin. Because we can't run a healthy business with 15% gross margin contracts, right? We need contracts that are more like a typical software contract, which is 50 to 70%, which is how most of our software gross margins are, not only in this business, but across all sector.
How international are you? You talk about expansion internationally. Where are you at the moment?
So right now we have about six languages in about 10 countries, but we've signed deals that will grow us to 2025. So, obviously we're still a relatively small company and we have to fit in all the various priorities. So this international expansion may take another couple of years, but we've already signed through continental Europe. We've expanded quite strongly. We've signed our first 2 Latin America, and we're also building the language capabilities to handle mobile is fully Unicode, but we're positioning also for Middle East and Asia with the Arabic and Asian character sets. So I think that's my time. Thanks you all for listening.